professional. And today's speaker is Mr. Yusuf. He has more than 3,500 hours in training students and corporate companies. He has a Bachelor's of Civil Engineering from University of East London, Executive Diploma in Project Management. He has a Revit Architecture Professional Certification and AutoCAD Professional Certification. And he's currently doing his Master's in Structural Engineering and Construction in UPM. He also has experience in Horwath Construction Establishment for 2 years in Bahrain, which handles clients' requirements on constructions and apartments building and supervising the projects. And he's currently with Six Sigma Synergy since 2013. So we would like to give a huge applause to Ms. Rohani right now to continue our workshop.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Rohini. I'm the Center Head for Six Sigma Synergy. So I'm going to give you a very brief description for our company and walk through you about maybe 5 minutes on it, and then I'll hand over the mic to Yusuf of the Staad Pro Design. Basically, the Six Sigma Synergy, we've been around. CAD Center is basically a brand from India. We've been around for 27 years in the field of training of CAD/CAM for engineers and project management. We have about 350 centers, and we are basically the largest for project management under the EMI USA. You know what's Project Management Institution of USA, right? Have you heard about that? It's basically an organization which recognizes for project management PMI, something like IR for engineer and project management, you get the PMP certification, right? So this is our company, right? And basically, as I mentioned, we have been around. We are basically based in Chennai, India, and we have about, like as I mentioned, we trained more than 700,000 engineers worldwide all the 27 years we have been around. Okay, and our materials in our books are ISO 9000 certified, so our materials comes with a lot of inputs and analysis with worksheets that students can understand from day one how to go about doing the training. Okay, basically our vision is the world-class training, and quality is our main target. Now, the uniqueness about CAD Center is basically we are in education partners with the biggest suppliers like Autodesk, Siemens, Bentley, SolidWorks. They recognize us as a training provider because we're the largest in the area. So basically we are in tandem with that. If you look at our certifications, we carry their logo. for us to carry the international logo, we are actually our certificates are very internationally recognized. Okay, and also we have the BMI institution here. Okay, our courses are basically divided to mechanical, civil, electrical, architectural, and also project designs. Okay, we have draftings. And what we do is we understand that the universities do offer CAD/CAM trainings at your place, but what we do is we help to bridge the difference between what the industry require and what you have learned. Of course, you are learning the same thing in the university, but what the industry wants is a very wide requirement. Something like your handphone, you know, your application is a lot, but what you use is only the basic application. But sometimes you can use more to it, you can always use your handphone to the maximum requirements. So what we do in CAD Center, the Six Sigma Synergy, is we teach you what the industry wants, so that when you go to work, from day one, you are productive enough to deliver what the company requires you, right? So this is what we basically do. We bridge the gap. So our training is basically very systematic, because you see all softwares like Staad Pro or AutoCAD is a very huge software. So we take you to a systematic manner in order that you understand from the basic to the completion of a design. So that is why our course curriculum is such a structured way that it helps you to understand from day one. As I mentioned, we also got the ISO 9000 certification, right? So basically, we are located in Petaling Jaya. How many of y'all know Section 14 PJ, Asia Jaya LRT Station? Nobody has left Semini. So all stay in Kajang, extra done. Okay? Basically, we are quite a distance from your side. We are in Section 14. This is our track record, the number of students we have trained, over more than 2,000. Basically, we have track record with the corporate companies. 50% of our clients are basically corporate companies. We have been training, and our 100 of our students have sat for Autodesk examination and have passed as per today, and some of them, only about 40 of them have sat for Revit architecture and passed in our center. Okay, and we work with Nila University. We have signed the MOU with Nila University on the mechanical courses. We work with UCSI. We are in UCSI in terms of training. We work with IUKL. We work with Legenda University. Okay, this is our corporate companies that we have. This is our courses. As I said, under drafting, we have like the AutoCAD courses under drafting, right? Mechanical, we have SolidWorks, Creo, ANSYS, CATIA, PDMS. Civil, we have Staad Pro, ProSteel, Revit Architecture, Revit MEP, and also Revit Structure, which is not there. Project management, PPM Concept, Primavera, MS Project. We're talking about becoming a planner, and also electric and electronics industry. All right. Okay, this is our books and our certifications. After the demo is over, if you are interested, it's at the bottom. You can always come and look at our books and our certification. This is how it looks like. Okay, and this is our training materials, our certification that we give in. Ours is certification of completion with what you have studied is been written at the structured down here, so that the employers know what you are able to do. Okay, and it's all barcoded, and you can also see this in the website. Okay. Okay, this is HRDF Class A training provider. We are under the government of Kementerian Sumber Manusia. This is our MOU that we signed with UCSI and NILAU, just to show you that we've been in. This is we are present in most of these universities. They know us very well because we've been going around for the last 5 years to bring the awareness of computer-aided designing to the students, because you can't run away from designing in the computers, right? Some of the activities that we have conducted in IPTA and IPTS. We do a lot of free workshops. This is our training center back in PJ. And our organization, Staad, our team, and all of us. Yusuf is on the civil department. He's from Bahrain. Jitan is from India. He's from the mechanical side. And we have our project management, Mr. Mani from PNP certified. Okay. That's about us. And I will mic here and pass the mic to Mr. Yusuf for the Staad Pro training, okay?
Good afternoon. We're going to start a short introduction to Staad Pro. As you know, we make many designs or calculations manually for structures to calculate the loads, bending moment, and shear. But it will take us too long to do that manually for a whole structure. So that's why we need to use a software like Staad Pro. Just to give you a short introduction. Okay, why do people use Staad Pro? It's very simple. We are using Staad Pro to double check or compare. We cannot expect to do the whole structure of 300 or 400 beams manually. It will take forever. But still, we need to have the basics. We still need to have the basics. Basics in the sense of you need to take one member in each level, check it manually according to the code you're using. We need to double check. Is it telling or not? Okay? So basically for Staad Pro, this is the choice for structure engineer professionals. They choose for, it can do steel design, concrete design, it can do in timber and aluminium, but basically the two things we are using, steel design and concrete design. It can carry out various analysis, such as wind load, dynamic, seismic loading, all the following. Okay, Staad Pro is the one thing that Staad Pro has that other software doesn't have is have many codes, like British, Indian code, Middle Eastern code, Euro code, whereas some other softwares only may have British code or Euro. But here they have even US code, Japanese code, all different codes are available in Staad Pro, more than one code. Okay. What are the advantages in using Staad Pro? Basically in using Staad Pro, it's extremely flexible. You can do 2D frame structures, trusses, you can do a 3D model structure and analyze. All that can be done. It's not only 2-dimensional, but it's a 3-dimensional too. It covers all aspects of structure engineering. When they mean by all aspects, it's not only doing concrete design or only steel design, it do both. We even can do something into RAM connection, determining the connection type to be used. We even have board of separate design codes, international coding as I mentioned to you, quality assurance. What do they mean by quality assurance? When you get a design, it gives you in the report from which table in the design code did it use the formula or what table it used. Okay? Report and documentation basically to prove how you got the design. Once you're done with your design, you need proof. That's the proof. Technical support is basically for the software. Okay, there is the system. Any software for project for structure have 3 points to move the systematic way. Okay, the first is the pre-processing. Pre-processing basically is the first term where you model the structure, you put your specification, is it concrete, steel, section size, all that. Okay, next one is your analysis engine. When you do the analysis engine, it checks did you put the load the correct way? Did you do the structure the correct way? There is no members overlapping, all that. So if it's correct, then you can go to the next step where you can get your report and design and all done. With the post-processing where you can get your reports, display reports. Okay, this is the workflow. Like Mr. Rohini said, we are teaching you on the correct workflow, how the software works. You may learn here and there how to use the software, but every software has a workflow. This is our workflow. You first do the geometry, means you build up the structure in 2D or 3D with no properties. Then we'll teach you how to apply the properties of the structure, size of the member, section of the beam, section of the column. Then you come to supports. What type of supports you would like to use? Is it pin support? Is it fixed support? All type of supports we're going to use. And then define what type of loads. Do you want to give only UDL load, point load, okay? Wind load, any type of load we'll apply. After that, we'll analyze the structure. After analysis, we're going to choose what type of design. Is it Euro, British, or what? And then we're going to get the results. So this is the modeling part where you can do any shape in Staad Pro. We can even import and export from AutoCAD. Okay, in modeling, we can model it can adopt more than one. It should accomplish the user needs, which has two main tasks. Okay, for architects, they only care about the structure, how it looks. But for structural engineer, the most important is the safety of the structure and the design and how much will it cost. Is it enough to build it this way or no? Okay, this last time in Staad Pro they didn't have this. It was very hard. They were using the coordinate system. Now they introduced the new system that is called Structural Wizard. That is much easier. It's like a built-in AutoCAD inside it where you can draw really fast. Okay, these are different type of supports. You know these supports, I believe all of you studied this in degree in year 1. Different type, fixed, pin, all these different supports. Okay, basically for member specifications. Member specifications, you need to say what type of member you're, whatever the member length is, you need to mention the section size. For concrete, we can create our own section. For steel, it's already the libraries and according to British or Euro or whatever code you're using. Same goes to aluminium and stainless steel. Here is the member specifications, as I mentioned to you. If you can see on the left side, there is a table for the concrete. You can change the material, make the custom section. On the right side, you have the built-in tables. After applying to a structure, basically Staad Pro is not into rendering, but after applying, you see the structure on the left. This is how the structure looks in Staad Pro. But once you render, after putting the specifications, you get it in that way. After applying the specifications section size. Basically loading, okay. One of the most important things, what type of loadings do you need to calculate whether for a structure design? What do you look for in a structure? You need to apply live load, dead load. You need to apply the loading, right? Maybe sometime wind load, depend on the structure height. So all that is important. You need to first determine these things before designing. So a structure loading forces applied to the structure. We have dead load, live load, dynamic, wind load, all these different type of loads. So this is a basic figure. You already seen this for one single span. I'm sure you do in your exam. This design. We have a UDL load or a point load is the same thing. You can design one member or you can design the whole structure according to you. Okay, this is basically one of the simple slab designs. You can see what's the difference. Does anybody know what's the difference here? Yes, basically one-way slab and two-way slab loading. Okay, you can see this is actually a wind load applied to the structure. Okay, we have here a bridge with a moving load. Once the cars move, the bending moment will move. If you had the actual structure, it will move as the cars pass by. And basically this is dynamic or seismic loading, earthquake. Okay. These are some of the other analysis that the software can do: linear, static, dynamic, P delta, and non-linear analysis. These are the analysis that software can do too. Design commands, basically for design commands, I mean what type of design can it do? It can do 4 designs, basically aluminum, concrete, steel, and timber structures. Results, okay, after all the design, we need a result to back up our design. So these are the results that we can get from Staad Pro. That will show us the structure is safe or not safe. And if it's not safe, what do they recommend us to do? So these are the reports. Okay, what is this? Anybody have any idea what is this? Bending moment. You do that a lot in the exam, right? Bending moment and shear diagrams. You can get, this is the whole structure, bending moment and shear. Okay, other than that, we even can do what shear wall design. In the sense of plates, structure. Staad Pro even do the design for the plates, stresses on the plates. These, when I mentioned to you, there is many codes in Staad Pro. These are the codes available in Staad Pro. Countries that codes are available in Staad Pro. So if you learn Staad Pro, no matter which country you go, you still can use Staad Pro. The codes are international. They got many codes inside. The procedure is the same way. You only need to choose the different codes and put the different cover or whatever. These are some of the things that you can design structure in Staad Pro. And these are the main the main areas where Staad Pro has been used. That will be it. I will just show you in the software a small demonstration how to use the Staad Pro. Just change this computer. Okay, I'm going to give a short demonstration how to use the software for steel design. Okay, you can see the codes, license, configuration there. They have all the country codes there, you can see. Unlike other softwares, as I mentioned, have only some codes. You will be constrained. Once you learn to use the software of Staad, you can have more flexibility to use it in different countries. Okay, the first thing we're going to do today, I'm going to do a small steel design structure. Very simple one, just a frame structure, nothing much. Okay, I'm going to start a new project. I'm going to go with space. When you say space, basically in Staad Pro, they mean you can give the load in any X, Y axis, any coordinates. It's a three-dimensional basically. So I'm going to basically use meters and kilonewtons. So I'm going to go next. I'm going to give a new name. Okay, basically as I mentioned to you, there is a new thing inside Staad Pro that makes it much easier to use and much convenient, much more user-friendly. It's called the Staad Editor. Not Staad Editor, sorry, the Structure Wizard. So this is a Structure Wizard. I'm going to just do a small structure here. So I'm going to do a bay frame structure. I'm going to give my sizing in. Basically here you put the size of the span and then you mention how many bays you want, how many sections you want. So for example 3 by 3, 10 meters by 10 meters. So I just file and merge this to the structure model. You just merge it after you're done. It's very simple. You get your structure in Staad Pro. So next step you do, as I mentioned to you, first we come with the modeling. Next part we come with the specifications. For the specifications. So now I want to place some specifications, properties. I'm going to give some section sizes. So I'm going to give, this is the section database, as I mentioned to you. All the steel sections are saved in the database. If you're using British code or Euro code, you can choose. For example, Euros here. You can choose, for example, UB. I'm looking for UB 457. 457. Okay, I just add my sections. So I just add up my sections and then I'm going to select my beams and columns. So I already assigned. So basically I already gave my sections. As I mentioned to you, this is not a very rendering software type, but once you give the properties, you can render the software. You can get a better look how the realistic look will going to be. So this is the structure after I apply the properties. Before that was just lines, 2D lines. So after you're done with this, we're going to, of course, after you put the geometry down, properties, then next step you're going to go to supports. Basically I'm going to give a fixed support. My supports are being given. So after this, I'm gonna, after giving my supports, I'm gonna apply loads. Basically, I want to apply dead load and live load. So I come here, apply dead load. Add. So I add dead load and live load. So I start, of course, with the dead load. I have my own requirement to apply dead load here. Basically, we'll start with dead load always with self weight. So you just click add on this, add self weight. Basically, after self weight, we wanna add member load, a UDL member load of. Basically, we'll put minus 2.5 due to the fact we are going to negative y axis. 2.5. So I'm going to apply the loads for the dead load assigned to view. Basically, the dead load will take the whole structure as a dead load. And the members, here select my members, select this, and assign to selected members. You can see the arrow here proving that the load has been applied of 2.5 kilonewtons on the members. Okay, next I want to add live load. To add a member load of minus 4.5, and basically I want to add this time on the x-axis nodal load on the joints. Nodal load on x-axis of 1 kilonewton. Select here. I want to apply my member load. Then I want to apply my nodal load. So I take my nodal cursor and add my nodal cursor. So basically I apply my nodal load here and click yes. You can see small arrows hitting the nodes. This is the load applied. So once this is done, we are done with the structure, loading and everything. We need to apply now the last step. Anybody knows? We're done with the loading. You don't do any factor of safety. You just apply one to one. You need to apply factor of safety, right? So we just apply the factor of safety. Come here, we apply factor of safety, that is combination load. I'll go with the auto since I'm using the British standard for today. Steel, generate, it's 1.4, 1.6. It's gonna add it. So I apply mine, safety factor. Now I can go for analysis. I can ask for the load, I can know the weight of my structure. Okay, I can add and then run analysis. So 0 warning, 0 error. That's what you're looking for in your structure. If you get one warning, your structure cannot go to the next step. One error, sorry. And if you get a warning, you can go to the next step, but your job have some mistakes, basically. So I can view my output here for my structure, and you can see the structure weight here, the actual structure weight. It's 407 kilonewtons. After applying my loads and everything. So basically now from this, if you click on this already, you can see your bending moment. You can see your bending moment and you can change it here to accommodation load. You can see your bending moment. So next step, basically after you do this analysis, as I mentioned to you, the third part is the design. We're going to go to the steel designer, select the whole structure and apply the load. Click OK. Once you're done, you go to design member. So you select the whole members. You ask to make where is the continuous load, continuous beam, basically like this M1. It's a continuous span, so you can design it in that way. So once I'm done with this, I come here to click on groups, click a new grid and see what code I'm going to use, basically. Any of the codes that they want. So I'm going to go with BS for today, click OK. Select my whole structure, new group, and send it down there, click OK. So once you're done with this, we ask our software to do a group check, we call it. Check according to the code that you're using with the steel specifications that you mentioned and the load. We're going to tell you whether it pass and fail. For steel design, we're using the ratio, so it's going to tell us. So I can click on any member, for example. I can click on this member, select it, and come to just pick the physical member, come to member design and ask to view the calculation, where you can see like the manual calculation you are doing right now. The same thing, give you the detailed design calculation, and in the end it will tell you the torso, all these things. It will show you, and the last one is the ratio down here. The ratio is 0.331, and your member has passed. This is only for one member. You can apply the same thing to export the report for each member, whether it pass or fail. So basically, this is the workflow how Staad Pro works. So any doubts? Anybody have any question about this? Basically, this is the thing that you're looking for in designing. Some important thing. This is the thing to prove how you come up with the structure design. You need the reports to back you up. Any questions? Yes, please. Okay, basically you first need to do the basic calculation to know the length of the span. Okay, for example, say 6 meters over the 14 or 15, depending on which code you are using, and then you can, for concrete, you can get the depth. For steel, you have another design. You have to check 1, check 2. Okay, whether it's followed, would depend on which code basically you use. A big difference between British and standard. You need to do the basic, find what type of section to use, like come up with the flange size and the web size. Once you find that, you put it in the software. You apply the properties. After loading, you can get the result, whether your structure will pass or fail. It's not basically trial and error, because this is a software that can give you more accurate. You have an optimizer basically in Staad Pro. You can ask the steel design to have an optimization. For example, you give some sections and it will tell you fair, it will propose you to change to what. Basically, for example, this is the detailed design. If I come to the normal design here and ask it to design, it will tell me to use the optimize according to my code. If I'm using British, it's going to give me different section to use for that member. This is called, for example, member 1. It will tell me to give different sections. So use the optimization too. Basically, for the optimization, you need to have many inputs. That will take time. I have to show you how to put the input ratio, depending on your design. Every company again have different design. Every code has a different design. You have to follow what the specifications. There's not one standardized one. So basically, right now, when you're doing a steel structure or a member, you're checking whether the section is pass or fail, right? So basically, you can check once you do a whole structure. In Staad Pro, you take one member and do manually and check whether it tallies. That's how you check your building. That's why the fundamentals are important.
What about deflection?
Deflection is there too. You can find the deflection without even doing the design. When I told you for member deflection, you can see here, you can click on any member. We can go to cross-processing, apply only the combination load, and you can come to beams and can see the deflection here. You can.
If I have like some members have their own specifications for deflection.
Okay.
They don't follow like the code.
Sorry?
They do not follow code. Like the code is allowed for example, 1 centimeter deflection.
Okay.
If I want it only 0.5.
Because you have to follow this, it follows the code in design. If you're doing only applying load for finite element, something else. But if you're doing for designing for the code, you need the code, of course, to give you specifications. We cannot create our own code. We're following some codes. You can apply on a member a load and put your own section and see what happens. Yes, it's possible. And you can apply your own factor of safety. You can put your own manual. You just need to come to manual factors of safety and apply. If you want to put like 1.1, it's possible. That's possible. That's considered manual loading. Let me show you. If you come to manual here, click on this, click add, you can see, hold on. Add here. Can you see here manual combination load? I can apply whatever I want factor. 1.1, 1.2, 1.3. That I can change. We are talking about the factor of safety. Basically, you even can click on the member. You can go to member and you can find the stress on any member. If I click on this member, can you see here? Just show you this. It's really nice. You can see the stress. Let me show you the table. Agents. Bring it here. As you move at the 10-meter length, as I move my cursor here, I can see the stress in different points.
Can you show us one of the beams that make it fair and how the software generates the beam that is required?
Okay, that's possible. Okay. I just modify the loads. Just hold on. So for example, if I come here to analyze, designer. I counted the steel designer here. This is not the advanced designer, it's the steel designer, normal one. Put this. I just apply this check code. Section optimizer. And table. So basically the analysis is done now. I can see my report. This is the steel design. You can see I have failures here. See member 5, right? Member 4. You can see the failures with the star on the side. So when I scroll down here, the second design here, member 5 and 4 are passed. It's actually giving me, proposing me different sections. Can you see the section size has been changed? Okay. So it's possible. Okay, that will be it about our Staad Pro session. If anything, you can come down and see us if you have any doubts or anything you want to ask us. Okay, thank you.
I think you have seen this Staad Pro software. Actually, basically, I was talking to Wahid and the team. We basically can conduct this Staad Pro training at your campus if you have enough numbers from your side. The details, I think I have emailed him, he can share it with you. We're talking about like minimum of 30 students that you have, and the licensing I think is available in the university itself. So you just need if you think that you want to take up this training and to get the certification and the books, please come and see us. We will we will explain to you further, and we will give your names to the members so that they can able to coordinate with your side. But we need the numbers for us to come, sorry, we need the numbers so that we can come down here to do the training. If not, you have to come all the way to PJ to come for the training. Because when we do it in a group, the pricing is much cheaper. And the actual price for Staad Pro, which is 6 days training that we do in our place, is 1,600 for student pricing. Actually, that's student pricing. That's what 6 days training. But what we're going to do here, we don't do this 1 day, 2 day training. It doesn't work. That's not the way we do trainings. We do exactly the actual training is 6 days. But what I understand that 6 days is not feasible in the campus because we all are having classes. So what we've done is we talked to your society and we have split the training into the basics and then the advanced. So we're talking about the basics, but with the basics you still get the books and the certifications. So the books are basically, this is the one. This is Staad Pro. What is exactly explaining to you, it's all here with all the commands and everything is here. So this is what you're going to get together with the certification of completion. That is what we're not going to give you because the certification of completion, it only comes if you complete the 6 days training. Yeah, because we have some ISO standards to follow. So we only can like teach you for 3 days, the first basic.
Okay, for the first 3 days, you're going to learn how to model, design, concrete and steel design, but you're not going to learn the advanced seismic loading, dynamic loading and all that, and the concrete advanced designer and steel advanced designer, basically, because you have two types of design. Basically, the design that I just showed you now that you asked me you want to use the optimize is considered as the normal steel designer. The advanced was the first one I showed you where it comes up with the report with the details from which code and which table have you used to prove that section passing.
And, how many of you all are keen to come for the training? Can I have a show of hands? So you can talk to your friends who are not here because if there's very small group, for us to come all the way here is not feasible. So it's better if you don't really have groups. Okay. If you want to come and see us, we're down here. We can explain to you further. If you want to look at our books, please do come down because we not just have Staad Pro, we have project management, and then we have Primavera, and depending on as a civil engineer, I'm sure it's a combination of. When you become a civil engineer, you become a project engineer, you'll be doing both. Construction side, understanding the loading, and also managing your team. Yeah? All right. Thank you very much.
Hello. Right now, we would like to give a token of appreciations to Mr. Yusuf and Mr. Hani. From Asia Wending. Thank you. Before you leave, we would like to invite you to have a group photo together. Come down to the stage and have a group photo.
Hey, where are you going now? I'm still doing. You want to do or? I'm going to TCR because I think I better draw that out first. I will be.
Hello guys, let's have a group photos before you leave. Thank you.
Guys, can you please fill the feedback form and pass it to us before you leave?
Thank you.
Please fill the feedback form first. Thank you.